Hey, what's up everybody? It's Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm. Welcome to today's video. I'm out early in the morning to feed our meat birds. Yes, indeedy. And what a beautiful, beautiful morning. But what I thought I would do today is I would like to share with all of you folks that are looking to get birds or have birds, looking for a chicken tractor design, and which one is maybe best for you and your fit and so forth. I thought I'd at least let you know our experience in the two different types of chicken tractors that we've used, and some of the pros and cons of each one, and the design issues that I ran into with each one, and where I have created mods or customizations, if you will, for the chicken tractor that we currently use and why we do those things. So anyway, hey, that's a lot to do. Whew, a lot to talk about. Let's do this. And while I use the Siskovich chicken tractor today and have used the Salatin in the past, you've got all different kinds of chicken tractors out there. I mean, you've got the Peterson, you've got the A-frame, you've got the Chickshaw, you've got variations and customizations of each one of those, and brand new designs coming out. It seems like almost weekly. But the two that have typically emerged as kind of the favorites, odds-on favorites, if you're a betting man, is the Siskovich and the Salatin. And both of those have their advantages and disadvantages. But the keys to having a chicken tractor are really, you need something that is spacious, that will protect your chickens from the weather, from heat, and from predators, certainly. You want something that is durable, yet light, because it's mobile. The whole idea of a chicken tractor is so that you can move that thing around your pasture, right? And so you don't want to be breaking your back on it, nor requiring a ton of equipment to move it. What else? It needs to be, obviously, the hope is that it's inexpensive. I mean, if you're paying $1,000 to build a chicken tractor, you've sunk way too much of an investment in the infrastructure of your operation that it's going to be very difficult to recoup that. So you want something that is obviously inexpensive. And then finally, the last thing that I put on the list is you want something that's ergonomic. And I mean structurally ergonomic, in terms of you're not breaking your back every time you pick up the old string here and try to move it, or have to put the wheels on the back of them to move them. You want something that you can move around, that's I mean, as I mentioned earlier, mobile by design. Your chicken tractor is mobile, but you're not having to kill yourself to move them. There are a lot of different materials that you can make your chicken tractors out of. PVC, wood, metal, tarps, metal roofing. The list goes on what you can use. And in fact, most will tell you, use scraps from around the farm to build your chicken tractors. For crying out loud, it's a chicken tractor. Use up some of that scrap material that you have laying around for the build. Makes good sense, doesn't it? Hey, Nala. Hey, girl. So let's change gears just for a second. So a couple of weeks ago, we had somebody drop off a stray out here in the country, and we see that from time to time, where people will just drop dogs off and leave them to fend for themselves. Like, you know, they're dogs, they'll survive in the wild. No, dogs typically get taken by coyotes out here, or they get taken by a farmer who takes care of a dog getting into the chicken pen or something along that lines. It happens all too often out here. And so this little girl was a stray, was a drop-off. Called the Humane Society or Animal Control and wanted to see if they could come out and rehome her. And they said because of the total number that they currently have in the shelter, it might be a long shot to rehome her. So we decided to hang on to her for a little while. We're going to see how she handles or gets along with Yara. Yara is coming back today from the whelping her puppies with our breeder, and so we're going to find out today if she does indeed get along. But for right now, this is Nala, and Nala is a treeing walker coonhound, one of a very popular brand of hounds for the family. She's incredibly lovable and very, very friendly. And what I like about her is she is an alarm. She is an alarm sounding dog if there ever was one. She will let you know if, number one, if there's a scent in the air, she catches it. Boy, she is loud about it. And of course, she also lets us know when there are visitors that come up and maybe not so friendly visitors. That's what we're after, a good alarm dog. So let me share a little bit about this chicken tractor, the Salatin style chicken tractor here. Excuse me, this is not a Salatin. This is a John Siskovich frame. It's made out of 2x4s and conduit. Did I just say conduit? Conduit. Chicken wire hardware cloth at the bottom. Very simple build, very light build. The door on each one of these three I have changed up a couple of times on these three builds. Started out with a 2x4 frame with a 1x4 skin to it, if you will, to make it look a little cleaner. This one is really, really nice and solid. Really love this one. The one over here is just a 1x4, and it tends to rack a little bit depending on the type of land you're sitting on. So it has a tendency to kind of shift a little bit, and it'll pinch up here, but it's no big deal. It works out fine. The other thing that I have installed in each one of these, you can see the water system running through down the side of it. That's PVC with the cups. And here on the back of each one of them, I simply have a bucket that we fill up, and it provides the water to all of them. Also on the back are the wheels. You can see they're not on right now. You actually go on these lag bolts here. You slide those on and you pull it. I have actually added a camming system to this one, and where all you do is you push down here, it raises the tire up off, raises the coop up off the ground, and you simply pull it. I've got a little bit more design work to do on that. The other design note that I put on this one is I actually added bolts to the front of it as well. And that way you could add 4 wheels to this one. And if you had to pull it over a long distance, let's say you're putting it away, you're storing it, or you're pulling it out of storage, you can put all 4 wheels on there, and you don't have to just put the 2 wheels and pull it. You can actually put 4 wheels on there and just push it around. It's really nice. So that's the general design of the Siskovich tractors. The one thing that I do like about these is that they are light. You can stand up in them. The food stays off the ground. Water is automatic, so there's no pulling a water out and inserting it back in. This one for us, this particular design for us has worked out quite nicely. Let's drive over here to the Salatin. We'll talk about it. All right, so this is the Salatin style. As you can see, it's I made this one out of PVC. It has a metal roof access to it. It has a piece of hot wire that's running around the bottom of it to keep predators out. And here were a couple of things I liked about this design and some of the mistakes that we made. First of all, the actual design of it, the footprint of it is very spacious, plenty of room, much more room actually in here than there is in the Siskovich, significantly more. You can hold, I think, up 70 to 80 birds in the Salatin style, whereas in the Siskovich, you're looking at maybe a max of 40 birds at the very most. But here, a lot more room. The actual design itself is very nice because it's flat, 2 feet tall. It is I think made out of the right material. It would be great, a perfect weight. It's a solid little tractor. Simplistic in its design. I think when Joel created this thing, he wasn't looking for rocket science. He was looking for something that was very simplistic, inexpensive to build, and obviously very effective in what its job was. And this was a very inexpensive build for us because we utilized PVC that we had left over from our house build, as well as the roofing material that was also left over from our cabin build. So we took several pieces of leftover material and built this one. Now, where did we go wrong? Well, we used leftover material to build this one. And what I mean by that was this 3-inch PVC, this 3-inch PVC that we used to build this, very heavy, very, very clunky to kind of lug around and manhandle. Did not like that at all. The other thing that I think that we did wrong with this was we used the 1-inch chicken wire all the way around it, and raccoons could stick their paws right through it and grab our chickens. So then we came back and added a protective barrier here on one end of it. And of course, I think we added it to the wrong end. We added it to the end where the rope is. And so when you pull, when you end up pulling this, the chickens can't see you. The chickens will follow you. They will want to follow along with you, but they can't see you. If this been on the back side of the tractor, then they would have visibility to you and they would have followed. So what happened? Well, we would get up here to pull it and they would all run to the back because that's where Karen would have to go in order to kind of scare them forward. If she didn't scare them forward, there would always be 3 or 4 stragglers back here and they would inevitably get run over by the chicken tractor. Now, it doesn't hurt them necessarily, but it does cause you to stop and have to go and lift it up and they straggle away, right? And just a miserable kind of a deal just to move it. And so that was a big mistake. This was a good idea, wrong end to put it on. Put it on the back side of it, not the front. But the disadvantage of this is, by utilizing this, it added weight, a lot more weight, and that's to the front of the tractor. So now you're lifting up on this really heavy tractor to pull it. Just way too much weight, way too much weight. We probably are not going to be using this one any longer. Not because I don't like it, it's just that the disadvantages for us for this one was very simple. I go back to that word ergonomic. It was not ergonomic for us. You would always have to remove the lid and reach up underneath to get the feeder and the waterer. Again, bending down, raising up, bending down, raising up. Then when it came time to collect the birds, when you're getting in to start to grab birds, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to run to the opposite side. Well, the opposite side is underneath the roof. So now you're on your hands and knees trying to reach up in there and get the birds to come out. Man, what a miserable, that's just horrible. So we didn't like that. So we opted to move away from this chicken tractor to the Siskovich for the simple fact that it is lighter and ergonomic. Not lighter by maybe a Salatin versus a Siskovich design side of things. It's lighter because we made those decisions to use the 3-inch pipe, the metal on both, the metal all the way around the thing. We just made a lot of mistakes on this one. A lot of mistakes that if you don't make, then this one may be just perfect for you. Because this one right here was a little bit cheaper to build because we used all the materials around our farm. So if you got things laying around the farm, particularly 2x4s or 1x4s or 1x2s even, a 1x2, you could probably build this tractor. I would certainly use metal brackets and metal braces and so forth in the corners to keep it, to give it some structural integrity. But for us, this guy right here, too heavy. We built the tank out, built the tank. We didn't need to. All we needed to do is use hardware cloth around this thing instead of chicken wire. Chicken wire is not the way to go. Hardware cloth. Use hardware cloth. Problem solved. You can use chicken wire here on the top for how much you leave open. But hardware cloth would have kept me from having to add the wire and the metal end. Wouldn't have needed it. Bad design on my part. Well, there you have it. The Saladin style and how we went wrong. We didn't do this right. Had we done it right, we may still be using it. But I'm glad we kind of moved the Suscovich, because the Suscovich is so much more ergonomically friendly. You walk into it. When you move it, the feeder, the watering system, all that stuff moves with it. With this one, we didn't have it set up that way. We could have set this up with a bucket system and a feeder that hung maybe from the top. We didn't do that. And so we moved it aside. Well, there you have it. That is our take on the two different chicken tractors. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Saladin style chicken tractor. We just built it wrong. We built it out of the wrong material. We built it using the wrong type of fencing material. We used the wrong kind of modification design. Just all wrong. But just trying that Suscovich style tractor, oh my goodness. That thing is so nice. And we love it. Well, there you have it. That's my take. Wrong, right, or indifferent. Both of these types of tractors may have a use on your farm, either or both. And invite you to try them out. And I hope I've saved you a little bit of heartache in some of the design elements that I failed on miserably. You're living and you're learning. Guys, we hope you have a wonderful week, very blessed week. Till we see you again the next time. We will. See ya.